Hello and welcome back to the Brompton Guy. Today I'm thrilled to say my Brompton G Line Electric pre-order is in, and I'll be amongst the first in the world to get my hands on Brompton's latest do-it-all bike. The G Line is available in 4 specs, and I've opted for the 4-speed electric version after some well thought out and planned calculations. I've come up with 7 solid points that convinced me dropping £3,500 on a folding e-bike was a good idea. So hopefully my insight might help you make up your mind if you're stuck in between models or simply looking for a little more insight into the Brompton G Line Electric. So with that said, let's get stuck in and cue the intro.
He's the Brompton Guy!
Reason 1. When making this channel just over a year ago, I set out on the journey to bring viewers content on all things Brompton. Starting off with my 2004 second-hand Brompton C Line, which we converted into our amazing Brompton M Line. We then took the plunge and purchased the stunning emerald lacquer Brompton P Line, which is the funnest and most practical bike I've ever owned. Now we find ourselves on the waiting list for our Brompton G Line Electric. Having this bike will open even more Brompton comparisons and more varied content on the channel, helping us gain even more knowledge across the Brompton lines. At the end of the day, Brompton releasing a new bike and design is huge for a Brompton content creator like myself, and while I'm not thrilled about spending £3,500 on a bike, I am thrilled that I can share my experience with the bike with you, the viewers. Without folk like you watching, I don't have a channel, and my passion for this little folding bike can't be shared. Your input and ideas in the comment section inspire me to create, and I've learned so much from you all. So I suppose I just want to start by saying thank you. If any of you are considering the Brompton G Line or any other Brompton, I have a small gift for you. Since I've just pre-ordered, I've been given a refer a friend link, allowing anyone new to Brompton to save £100 off when you spend over £1,000. I'll pop the link in the description just in case it helps anyone, but I'm pretty sure the G Line's going to be excluded. Reason 2. I've never owned an e-bike and have so many questions about them, like how much assistance do they actually give you? How long can I stretch out the battery life for? Does my commuting actually get easier? Will it make me get even more time on the bike? And how much faster is an electric Brompton over a standard Brompton? Will it burn the same amount of calories? And the list just goes on. I didn't expect my first e-bike to be the G Line Electric, but I'm very grateful it will be. It was designed ground up with thoughts on how to be an e-bike at its core, and the cable integration in the main frame makes me very happy from an aesthetic point of view. It's also the perfect bike I could spec for some of the long distance bike packing ideas I have for the future, one of them being the famous North Coast 500 in Scotland. Reason 3, it doesn't always have to be electric. What I mean by that is the rear wheel on the G Line houses the motor control unit and the 4-speed sprockets, which simply clips into one motor control cable to allow you to connect it to the battery unit up front. However, what happens if you happen to already say have a 20-inch disc brake reel with Shimano 11-speed Di2 Alpine hub? Yep, that's right, it would be possible to convert the bike to a manual bike, but it is almost impossible to do it the other way around if I bought the standard G Line. This realistically allows me to own both versions of the G Line for testing, but only pay for it once. Another reason I would consider this would simply be that some of the events I enter on the Brompton don't allow for e-bike entry, and on really long adventures where charging the battery pack would almost be impossible, it's great to have the option to make it a manual. Now, I'm not going to lie, I think this idea is brilliant and really does help me see the G Line Electric as a do-it-all bike. Reason 4, the motor and gearing. My first thought here was, why use the same derailleur setup that causes me so many problems on the Brompton P Line? But you know what they say, deal with the devil that you know, right? Over the year, I've refined how best to set it up to avoid indexing problems with the 4-speed. However, the G Line might already have a solution built in for that. The G Line uses a new microshift 4-speed shifter rather than the Brompton design 4-speed shifter that is found on the P Line. I'm convinced the main issue with the cable tension is the shifter itself, so I can finally test this theory with the Brompton G Line. This then brings me on to the motor itself. I think it's fair to say the original Brompton Electric had issues from connections to battery reliability, but I think Brompton will have put so much extra detail into this design because of the learns of the original Electric. So I'm going into this confident that it will be, well, a very well thought out e-bike and potentially one of the best folding e-bikes on the market. I also have to quickly mention the battery itself. It is slightly larger, coming in at 345 watt hours compared to the C Line's 300 watt hours. However, the website still states it gets the same 20 to 45 mile range, which I will certainly be testing. Reason 5, commuting daily. As many of my viewers know, I commute daily on my Brompton P Line and love every moment of it. It's dripping with modern tech and slowly but surely wearing a fine dress of carbon fibre. However, like top-end road bikes, the fancier and lighter the parts, the more they normally wear, and the cost becomes even higher to replace them. So using it as a daily commuter can become wasteful and very costly. It is for these reasons why the C Line is the absolute staple commuter bike. So if the C Line is the staple, then why get the G Line Electric? As noted in my last video, I'm due to move house later this year and my work commute will increase in distance to 40 kilometers a day. While it's more than manageable on the P Line, I don't wake up every day keen to put the power and effort in, so on those mornings I'll adore the electric assist, and not to mention British Wellers. The extra grip and comfort will go a long way to keep me happy, but it allows me to keep my P Line out of those hard conditions and swap it for what Brompton claim to be a rugged do-it-all machine. It's also wise to comment here that during those harsher months, brake discs are a logical choice for good quality braking and won't wear out a rim. And finally, that lovely 9-watt integrated light will be a lovely and welcomed addition. I just hope the pre-order arrives before December to allow me to enjoy it to its fullest. Reason 6, the standard spec. From the outset, I truly believe any Brompton must have mudguards, period. My M-Line doesn't, and it is by far one of the things that I dislike about the M-Line itself. It's almost impossible to go out and not come back with mud all over you, even more so given the nature of the bike. I originally got my P Line without the roller rack and its rolling ability was awful, beyond poor, doesn't even cut it. However, a roller rack changed everything, and with those new bearing advanced roller wheels, it's even more of a must for such a heavy bike. The G Line, as talked about above, comes standard with a built-in light, which again is a must for my needs. To spec a rack, light and mudguards on a standard G Line costs £2,589, meaning the electric version is less than £1,000 extra and comes with everything standard. That's a result in my book. Finally, reason 7, the fit. While not G Line Electric specific, having the geometry of the bike redesigned for taller riders is a game changer for all-day comfort in the saddle on stupidly long days. and to stop an aging body from getting aches and pains that could be avoided with good proper bike fit. I'm honestly really intrigued if I'll feel the differences in fit, as I've now tweaked my P-line to fit near perfect. However, that does have a good amount of third-party components to help with that. Let's not also forget, a 20-inch bike makes tall people look a little less clown-like while riding. Not that it phases me, but it's still nice to know I'm carrying a little more cool factor during the ride. And with that cool factor, we can wrap up this video looking into the reasons for me ordering the Brompton G Line Electric. It's fair to say I'm really excited to try out this new bike and see if I can integrate it successfully into my life, because it has big shoes to fill in marching those Brompton P-line areas. As soon as the bike arrives, I'll do a special unboxing video along with further G-line content to follow after that. If you've enjoyed this content, please hit the like button, as it helps push this video onto more folk and Brompton users like yourself. Also, don't forget, you can use my friends code in the description below for that £100 discount towards a Brompton. As always, thanks for tuning in to The Brompton Guy and have a wonderful day.
He's there.